In this video, I'm gonna show you exactly how I took my testosterone from the mid 500s to over 800 in just shy of 4 months. Now, I'm not a doctor and this is not medical advice. If you have a medical conditions or question about your health, then please check in with your doctor and make a plan that is according to you. Before we begin, I just want to give you a little bit of a backstory about myself and my testosterone levels. So, I've always been very health conscious. So I've always exercised, I've always tried to eat as healthy as possible, drink enough water, get enough sleep, all that. And for most of my life, I've benefited from the health results of doing that. But around 5 months ago, I bought my first apartment and it was a very stressful process for me because it was the whole moving in part and then fixing a lot of stuff. And I didn't go to bed at my normal times and I had to wake up earlier because now my work was further away. So my routine, my habits is just kind of drifted off a little bit. And on top of that, I was working on Accountability, which is a project I created to help people who are struggling with their addictions, PMO addiction primarily. So that also was very time consuming. In other words, I was under a lot of stress and I just felt that my body had taken a toll. So I decided to go to the doctor to check my vitals, but I also made sure to check my testosterone. And when I saw the result, I was very surprised because for me, that was quite low. From that day, I decided that, okay, I'm gonna prioritize my health and I want my testosterone increased because the benefits of increased testosterone, man, it's numerous. First of all, you feel stronger physically, so you have more bodily energy. And you also have more mental energy that I could apply at my work, in my projects, and every endeavor of my life. And you just walk around with this masculine primal energy, man. I believe it's one of the core things a man needs to achieve something in life. So you gotta make sure that it's optimal. Now, a lot of the things I will tell you, you've probably heard someplace before, but there are some nuances that I myself haven't found online. So I really wanted to share it. The first point is exercise. We all know that exercise increases testosterone. The reason for it is that when you exercise, your body kind of breaks down, all right? So you get micro tears in your muscles and you need to build them up. This process is called hypertrophy. And your body will use the proteins and the amino acids and a lot of that stuff to build up the muscle, but your body also needs testosterone. So once you have gotten into the habit of exercise, your body will send a signal to your brain letting it know that it should increase its testosterone production because it is needed by the body. So that process, it's simple math, man. You exercise, so your body needs to grow, and to grow, your body needs testosterone. For that, your brain gets a signal that you should increase the production. So that's really basic, and I'm sure you've heard this before, but there's one thing that I myself haven't found online. What happens when you exercise is that you kind of create this circumstance around you, all right? So you go to the gym a couple times a week or every day, and your body registers that your circumstances change. Multiple times a week, you're getting this pressure, like this stress on the muscles, so your body needs to adapt. It's the need for adaptation that creates the muscle growth. But if you take it to a more primal level, if you tap into your fight response, and I'm not telling you to go and have a street fight here, obviously not. But if you get yourself in an environment where you can exercise this fight response in a controlled manner, like a martial arts gym, if you start doing Muay Thai, Jiu-Jitsu, MMA, something related to martial arts, you will have put yourself in a circumstance that is controlled where you can exercise this fight response. Because what I do in my jiu-jitsu gym is, first of all, obviously we exercise, we learn techniques, but there's sparring, and sparring resembles a fight. Because here I am with a big strong guy and we're trying to fight each other. He's trying to choke me, I'm trying to break his arm or make him tap out. Your subconscious will register that as fighting, okay? And since fighting is primal, it's part of our human instinct, we need to adapt to that situation. So your testosterone production will ramp up because if you lose a fight, it means, according to your subconscious, that you will die. Okay? And we don't want to die. We want to win, so your body will work with you to increase testosterone. That has been my experience at least. And if you've never done martial arts before, I would urge you to do a really interesting experiment. Go and do a blood test where you specifically ask to get your testosterone levels checked. Go register for a martial arts gym, do Muay Thai, MMA, Jiu-Jitsu, Nogi, whatever. And then 3 months later, do a testosterone check. You don't need to change anything else with your lifestyle. Just add martial arts and see where it takes you. And from exercise, it's very natural to talk about recovery. And the primary way for someone to recover is to sleep. Because when you sleep, your brain and your body takes time to repair themselves. So if you do not prioritize sleep, then you do not allocate time to repair yourself. But here's the part a lot of people get wrong. They think it's all about quantity, but it's also really important to focus on quality, the quality of your sleep. And there are 3 stages of sleep: light sleep, deep sleep, and REM sleep. REM is more towards the brain. It stands for rapid eye movement, and it means that your brain, in short summary, is repairing itself. Deep sleep is more for the body, so your body is taking the time to repair and all that stuff. And light sleep, to be honest, I don't know. But it's really important that you get enough REM and deep sleep. Because if you do not, then you will not feel rested, and it will actually mess up your testosterone production. I don't know if you knew this, but 70% of your testosterone is released during your sleep. And if you mess it up, if you mess up the quality, then you're missing out on so much testosterone. You can do a test where you take a blood test and make sure to sleep shitty for a week, and then you do another one after you've slept well for a week. You will be surprised to see that you probably have like a 50% increase in your testosterone levels. So sleep is really important, both the quantity and the quality. And now I want to give you some quick tips to increase the quality of your sleep. I used to struggle for a period with the quality of my sleep, so I would make sure to get 8 or 9 hours, but I would only get an hour of REM and maybe an hour of deep. So for 7 hours, I wasn't sleeping properly. What I did is that I invested in blackout blinds and a sleeping mask. Because my previous blinds, they would kind of let in a little light that would touch my eyelid, and my circadian rhythm would count that as it's time to wake up now. So it would kind of disrupt my sleeping patterns and kind of mess it all up, all right? So I got the blinds and I got the sleeping mask. And one really important thing is that I stopped eating close to bedtime. Because normally I would go to my jiu-jitsu sessions at 6 and I would be done by 8 and I would be home around 9. So it means that I would have my dinner around 9:30, and if I wanted to be in bed by 11, my stomach would still be filled with food, right? So what happens in this case is your body spends a significant amount of energy digesting food. I've read that it spends around 40% of its current energy levels to digest food. So if I go to bed in a state where I'm still digesting a big volume of food, then my body simply does not prioritize getting into the good sleeping states. And you probably noticed this too, man. Like if you eat a big meal and you go lay down, you just don't feel relaxed enough to get quality sleep. So do not eat close to bedtime. And also a third point that worked really well for me was to keep my room super cool. I don't know what it is, but once my room is cool, I just go under a blanket and I just fall asleep, man. It's like hibernation, like a bear hibernating. I just fall asleep. So after getting your exercise right and getting your sleep right, the third point is diet. I don't know what it is with this modern advice that you shouldn't eat a lot of meat and you shouldn't get a lot of cholesterol in you. But one of the main components of testosterone is cholesterol. Currently, I'm switching between a ketogenic and carnivore diet, and I've been doing so for the past 2 months. And I just feel incredible, man. Like that's what I eat. But before that, 2 months prior, I just made sure that the food I ate was single ingredient, meaning that you check the ingredient label and it doesn't say anything else than the food that you want. So if it's potatoes you're eating, say you go to the section, any section in the store, the frozen section, and you want French fries. You go and check the ingredients, it will say potatoes 70%, maltodextrin 12%, salt 2%, paprika 1%, blah, 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 and then there's some E's with some numbers in it. Like, you don't even know what it is, man. It looks like it belongs in a lab. It's because it was designed in one. What I do is that if I want potatoes, I just go and grab potatoes because I know that that is exactly what it is. So I try to eat healthy, okay? I try to eat a lot of meats. I eat a lot of eggs, avocados. I eat fish. I eat chicken. I eat all the meats, the butter, real butter, not the fake shit, and just stuff like that, you know. I prioritize food that is good for my body, and that food has a lot of cholesterol, and obviously it has been working for me, okay? And in addition to food, there's the supplementation. Now, I take a combination of ashwagandha, and you make sure it's the proper stuff, not the fake stuff. All right, so I take ashwagandha, I take tonkat ali and fatoja, which in combination has been called natural steroids. And I also take sigilit, with the real stuff from the mountains, not the fake synthetic stuff. I do also take creatine, and I make sure to supplement with vitamin D and natural fish oils, especially with the vitamin D. Now, I live in Norway. There's not much sun here, and I have read online that you should supplement with around 2,000 to 3,000 individual units. That has not been my experience. I've read and I heard on Joe Rogan that there was this doctor who took up to 20,000 EU. And so I just started doing the same. I started taking 10,000, sometimes 15, and sometimes 20,000. And I just felt amazing, man. It just felt like my body got exactly what it needed. So that is my stack. That's how I take it. That has worked for me. I have some friends that I advised it to, and they claim that it worked for them as well. And my last point to tie it all together is to take control of your adult content consumption, man, and lust-based behavior. Because listen to me, we live in a time where a lot of men are struggling with this. They're releasing themselves multiple times a week to hyper-stimulating stuff that they see online that is easily accessible. So they don't have to do anything, they don't have to achieve anything. They just press a couple of buttons and then they have access to all the content in the world that they consume in that way, and it is messing up their brain. The primary hormone factor in your brain is called the hypothalamus. When you're engaging with hyper-stimulating stuff, you're just messing up the hormonal balances in your brain, man. You're, upon releasing, increasing your testosterone for a short time, and then there's a drop. There's an increase in prolactin, which is the hormone you get when you kind of feel a bit like, okay, I'm gonna chill down now. And then there's the cortisol spikes, and you're just messing up the dopamine spikes up and down, multiple times a day or multiple times a week. And once you release, your body is also letting go of a lot of vital nutrition, because obviously your body wants to give the best offspring possible. So it's using quality nutrition to produce seminal fluids, okay? But when you're constantly releasing it, you're just in a depleted state, man. You're depleting your body of valuable nutrition, and you're just messing up the hormonal factories in your brain. And also, you're messing up your dopamine levels, so you do not feel the desire to chase life anymore. You do not feel the desire to go to the gym, to work on a project, to talk to that girl, to socialize with friends, all which brings forth a quality life, which brings forth quality habits that are aiding your testosterone production. So if you're struggling to get a hold of your lust-based behavior, then you can check out my other video where I talk about this. And I've also made this product. It's called Accountabilio. It's an app and a website where I walk people through how to systematically approach this addiction and unwire it from the brain. Because addiction is a problem of the brain, it's neural pathways. So I'm an expert in dealing with that. Check it out if you like, and I'll help you with it. So yeah, guys, that is my advice, and that is what got my testosterone to 800. You need to exercise, or try to exercise in a more primal way. And personally, I can't think of any other way than martial arts. So try it out. It's super fun. It's good for you. You'll learn something. And also, you're increasing your testosterone. Get your sleep right and eat well. Lots of meat, lots of eggs, lots of fish. Make sure to take your supplements. I've recommended my stack. But also, guys, I believe that this is one of the more crucial points. But you need to stop messing with your brain, man. With all this hyper-stimulating stuff, with the screen times and the PMOs and the adult content and the just constantly scrolling, you're just ruining your brain. It's going haywire and it's messing with your hormonal balances, man. So once you stop it and let your brain just get to its natural baselines and start functioning how it's supposed to function, then I'm pretty sure that you will achieve a significant boost in your testosterone and you will feel the increased benefits of your life. So either way, man, catch you around. See you in the next one.